poses all day and you're a straight guy, would you rather look at a bunch of fairly attractive female characters, or would you rather look at a bunch of muscly guys? I mean, personally, I'm gonna say the females, but I mean, there's a probe on the wall. You trying to say Propius isn't? There's a female too. I used to have some non-female poses. It's just these are the ones I really like at the minute. In all seriousness and in all honesty, these are just the poses that I really like at the minute. I really like Sylvanas as a character. I really like Nova. The Necromancer poster is really cool. I kind of like Jaina's storyline lately, and the probe is StarCrafty, so it's just kind of characters that I like from the games I play, I guess. So there you go. I thought Wardy was a girl. Oh yeah. Fan service. Bottom left hand side, our red Protoss player here is PartinG in this semi-final, as we have to the top right hand side. The blue Terran player is ByuN. Yeah, the Bit Boss is a little bit dead, isn't it? I'm not sure why. Bit Boss, why you die on me? Bit Boss. Let me refresh. Boom, refresh. No, it didn't work. Give me a second, guys. I'll fix it. It'll be fixed in a sec. We just have to copy this maybe, and then go over here and right click and be like, boom, apply. And then nothing changes, huh? Funny that, isn't it? No, it just doesn't work. I think BitBoss is just down, is the answer to that, guys. More so than anything else, I think BitBoss is just dead at the minute. So you know what the easiest thing to do would be? To turn it off, but I can't even see the button to turn it off. So you know what, we're just going to leave it there. We're just going to accept that BitBoss has died and bring it to all of your attentions. Probably is scouting around. Didn't actually make it up the high ground, but it already saw the command center, which is good enough information to know this is not a proxy player or a faster factory, anything like that. So already kind of knows what's going on. Now I should refresh. Still doesn't do anything. Stargate on the way up then from PartinG. Meanwhile, Starport comes in, proxied from ByuN. No way is this probe going to find it. Oh my god. Oh, it's so close to not finding it. This is so random as well. Like, why would you check over on this side of the map so late in the game? Alright, well, PartinG does know about this, but he isn't going to be able to really do anything about it in time. Apart from maybe prepare against the whatever comes out of it nice and quickly. And the SCV will go down, but the Liberator on the way up, and again, it's not. It just means that there's going to be units more well positioned a little bit faster. Now you can't keep your eyes off the error. Oh my god. It's gone. We fixed it. Reaper comes in with a couple of Hellions. It is a Phoenix first, just getting out here to be able to push that Liberator away. Liberator gets cancelled, starts up a medevac now instead, so just making sure to try and keep these Phoenix here. I mean, if the Liberator gets made right now, it's kind of just a waste of resources. So the cancel kind of keeps these Phoenix out of position. Those Hellions take a bit of damage. Can he actually get the medevac out and do anything useful here? I'm not sure if he can. Those Phoenix are just going to keep on sitting above the starport. I mean, this is the big deal about having it be scouted. The fact that PartinG did have a Stargate up really allows him to set up here. So now he cancels the medevac and makes another one. I mean, it kind of does just keep these Phoenix here, though, right? And I mean, it's doing a pretty good job of it. Meanwhile, the Hellions sit down to the south side of the map. And you see ByuN just building up into a good amount of Marines, a siege tank coming up as well. It's like the fourth time a unit's been cancelled on this starport and rebuilt instantly. Well, Hellions just here. Looks like they picked off a probe and then got out of there. And the probe will be replaced to come and pop down the Nexus. So, keeping the Hellions alive. Nice stuff from ByuN as we see the starport eventually just cancels the medevac once and for all and decides to just lift up and try and make it back home. So starport going to be heading back towards the upper right. Blink does start from our Protoss player here. So PartinG getting in towards the Blink opener. Remember, this is the semi-finals, which means all of these players have already earned themselves a minimum of $50 today. If they win, they double it up to at least $100. And of course, if they win the finals, they take home a $300 first place prize. Well, now some Stalkers are up here with the Phoenix. Hellions are still positioned, but the Stalkers at the front too. And, well, again, this starport just seems doomed to the point of it's not going to be able to do anything at any point of it. Hellions moving around the right side once again. Lost one of them there to just a couple of Stalker shots. The Stalker's repositioning. I mean, again, really not much of those Hellions can do. This stage, ByuN, I mean, he just builds up into the bio follow-up, and you kind of just have to kind of grit your teeth and accept your losses. The starport did absolutely nothing, a complete waste of money. And arguably, again, it did keep the Phoenix back at home, for example. It did force Phoenix rather than, say, an Oracle. Hellions just got cleaned up by these Stalkers. Now we see PartinG, though, of course, has a lot of Stalkers. He has Blink about to finish, and he has high ground vision via the Phoenix, so you can blink straight up into the main to apply a lot of pressure here. He can blink up. Actually, there's no vision here from ByuN in the corner, so he could blink up, wait for blink cooldown to reset, and then attack, just meaning that he has the blink available as soon as he needs it. Instead, he comes forwards and it loses him 3 Stalkers. That was not good from PartinG as he blinks more Stalkers up, so he still wants to make something happen here, as the Phoenix are going to come across and look to see what they can kill and go after a Marine. The Stalkers are all the way around the bottom side of the base now, ready to attack in, but still the tank covers a good amount of this. They're just not quite, it's not quite in range to stop the Stalkers as they hit the SCVs still. Tank will reposition slightly to fix that and to make sure it's no longer an issue. And those Phoenix on the top side still have a lot of energy to use as well. PartinG has taken an 18 worker lead already. ByuN adding on a 4th and 5th barracks. Looks as though he's just going to commit to the 2 base all in rather than going in towards a free CC. So ByuN setting up in towards a 2 base all in here. And is looking to end this game sooner rather than later. He has +1 attack. No sign of +1 armor starting up though. Something he's still just missing out on a little bit. Phoenix coming out. Marines and tanks going to start moving forwards. And, well, now we see the Stalkers will just blink up into the main base for the counter. Marines have stim though, so they can respond a bit more quickly. Nice lift up on that siege tank, keeping it safe. It was the obvious target for those Stalkers, which just blink into the corner, and then they're going to recall. Well, that's a couple of units lost there. Medevac should be able to lift up some of these units if he wants to speed up the speed of attack, but we'll just walk around instead. There's still these Phoenix to be wary of. I mean, that's a nice little attack from PartinG. It buys him some time back at home. And obviously time is PartinG's best friend at the moment because he is going to have the better economy over time. PartinG builds up so much more than what ByuN's able to build. ByuN really reliant on hitting the timing nice and swiftly here. Needs to win this game if this pushes the Phoenix fly over the Marines. That's really nice actually for ByuN because the Phoenix can still come in and lift up the tanks during a fight. So getting rid of them already means that those tanks are just going to be left to their own devices as they move across the map here. Disruptor being made, an interesting choice. Disruptors are very hit and miss obviously, and if ByuN can just split away and deal with them, then all of a sudden you've invested into a unit that may not actually add much to your defense at all when you're already very low on the unit count. The one thing about Disruptors is they're very likely to be able to hit the siege tanks. ByuN dropping some scans here and there and saving some up as well, making sure he has enough to kind of deal with DTs or to scan ahead, get rid of observers. That Dark Shrine on the way up, so that might become an issue for him sooner rather than later. There's Disruptor shot. Just getting ready to line himself up. PartinG's coming very far forwards here to fight this. I'm not sure if he needs to be this far forwards. The Disruptor gets targeted down by the siege tanks as the bio gets to work on those zealots, but all of the tanks are starting to go down. A few SCVs short, maybe a bit too late for what ByuN was planning to do. And PartinG seems to have just a little bit too much at the moment. Extra reinforcements show up from ByuN, but the Immortals are still up from PartinG as well, and they're going to take way too long to really work your way through. ByuN lifts up and backs away, but down in the work account, loses the medevac with the siege tank inside as well. And this looks as though we have ourselves PartinG looking for blood as he moves towards the upper right-hand side of the map here. Bio stims again. A few of these Stalkers continue to drop. Phoenix lifts up a unit but gets taken down. I mean, that's something that's for ByuN that works out well, but PartinG just keeps on pressing forwards, knowing that ByuN does not have enough at the moment. And PartinG looking to take game 1 of this series. GG. PartinG goes up 1-0. And a difference in her eyes, but she looks a little bit depressed at the fact that you said what up. I don't think she's into you. I'm just going to be honest. Bottom left, up a map in this best of 3 semi-final. Our red Protoss player is the big boy PartinG. Top right hand side, the blue Terran. Give it up, guys, if you're cheering on ByuN. Wardy has an iron crimson halo on. Yeah. You guys like my halo? It's great, isn't it? You don't have to be a ghost for her to see right through you. Ouch. She sniped the comment down from a mile away. Gary coming up on the right hand side. Second gateway proxied here means PartinG really will want to apply quite a bit of pressure in these early stages. Let's see how well this goes. ByuN was very good at dealing with the against Rogue early. He was very good dealing with the kind of the initial 6 lings harassing. I know this is a very different situation overall, but it really felt like ByuN just had early game aggression very figured out in that TvZ matchup. So I would love to see if he has something similar in the TvP. It'd be pretty awesome if he did. And as you see, the probe has another couple of nibbles, but not long until his Reaper pops out, and that probe looks like he wants to get out of there. Reaper goes straight across the map, and Marine will get started. Now the factory coming up too. Reaper going down towards the bottom left. Zealot found in the center of the map, and the Reaper will continue to fight here. As again, good job so far. Stalker and a probe starting to come up in towards the natural, and the pylon will just drop down here. Obviously, you get a shield battery also, and this makes it even more powerful. Reaper takes a few hits as it goes up towards the main base. Will survive. And ByuN might just have to cancel the command center here. Not the end of the world, because there is no expansion up from PartinG, remember. So having to cancel your CC is... It sucks, obviously, but it's playable. You know, you can still play out from this point. You're going to be seeing this bunker. Will get a chance to finish that. Zealot surrounded now. Will go down, guaranteed. Bunker is a second away from finishing, and the units can jump inside. Marines, go. They do get inside to start dealing some damage to this Stalker. He has that CC cancel. ByuN goes straight into a tech lab on his factory with a bunker on the high ground. Not much more should really happen here from PartinG. You get in towards either a Cyclone or a Siege Tank. You break your way down to the natural. You expand in the main base and float it down. PartinG is not done with the one base plays. He drops the Twilight Council. And while he might expand behind this, this is still going to be a fairly fast upgrade or switch into DTs as we get this going. Wardy doesn't see the proxy. I literally talked about the proxy already. LOL. LOL! Wardy doesn't say the proxy, but he did. He literally mentioned his proxy 2 gates, and that's why I'm talking about how ByuN is going to hold on early aggression. Ay. Do you think Twitch chat will ever stop backseat casting? Maybe. Reaper here. Just going to be hanging around. Just trying to see where the rest of those units are moving to. Banshee and Cloak on the way up. Getting set to go. The Blink on the way out as well. And the facility also dropping down. There's finally the expansion coming up from PartinG. ByuN is again expanding up in the main base. So he's getting that set to go. Ready to float down to the low ground for himself. Here you go, guys. You want to see the proxy? Here you go. You can watch these two Stalkers warp in from the pylon, which is connected to a gateway, allowing the fast warp in via proxy. Da. Drama. Banshee is on the way out here from ByuN then. As you're all going to see that command center finishing up. Tank with the siege will start to pick its way through that pylon then, and Reaper will add some damage as well. Stalkers kind of coming very close there, so wants to be a little bit careful about it. Again, intrigued what the Banshees will be able to get up to. Cloak is complete. The first Banshee is across the map, so I guess we'll see right now what they're going to get up to. First one cloaked up. Observer not here right away, so actually quite a few probes starting to go down. No shield battery either. Oh my god, the Observer about to pop, but this Banshee's gone huge with 9 workers. Will not quite find a way out here alive, but still 9 workers on the opening Banshee. Solid play by ByuN. Great counter aggression after PartinG put himself into a great spot already. Very nicely done. Siege tank sieges up in the corner. Banshee from ByuN will come on down to the bottom side of the map. Now, of course, ByuN not only forced the recall, but getting the 9 workers too. I mean, the combination of all of this just gives them such a simple, natural expansion. Comes out in a worker lead, and it kind of feels like PartinG maybe didn't even do enough with this proxied second gateway. Banshee shilling out on the bottom side. Observer coming out from the main. Prism and a whole chunk of Stalkers heading across towards the upper right hand side. And yeah, that engineering bear is just coming up to continue putting ByuN into a nice strong mid game position with upgrades and all. Stalker's going to get ready to blink up into the main, and here he goes. Stalker's up. And away they go as we see the Raven. Has to be a little bit careful. Raven's very nice in the long run here, but you do not want to lose it. It's so easily targeted down. It's an expensive unit, and you want to make sure you get value out of it. Tank sieging up, and the Stalkers have to get out of there. I mean, great little usage of the Blink Stalkers by PartinG. And at this point, he'll kind of rotate back around towards the natural poke over here, but with a setup like this, with the siege tank in position, what is PartinG meant to do? I'm not really sure if there's much he can do, because ByuN is just going to set up very safely, and he builds up into all of these bio upgrades. He's in no rush to go anywhere, especially because PartinG is still only on the 2 bases. PartinG adding on an extra gateway now, and a couple of those Robo Bay as well. He's teching up, but again, with there's no rush here for ByuN to really go anywhere himself. War Prism being used to drop some Stalkers in, or Zealots in actually, apologies. But that's also not too effective with a bunch of Marines, the Raven's still there if needed, and also the siege tank there to fire away if the Zealots do end up kind of coming a little bit closer in. So everything's still well set up for ByuN in the defense. Again, he's been a little bit ahead on workers all game long, ByuN, so continuing through this, looking as though he might be able to set up into a pretty strong follow-up. Observer just sat out in front of the natural level. Stalkers poking forwards, and they take a couple of shots from the tank. Still, there's gateway available down here. Is very nice. ByuN will see this as he flies over, so might even, I feel a lot of the time it might even be good just to get rid of this, especially because it's still active with a pylon. Bizarre using that replay pack command. Don't forget, guys, you'll get all of today's replays in a replay pack later on, either tonight or tomorrow. And today's going to be replays from Maru, Stats, Zest, Innovation, ByuN, PartinG, all of these games that you're seeing right now. We're going to have all of those replays in the replay pack coming up later today or tomorrow. If you're a subscriber, get yourself on that. It'll be in the Discord server. Or get yourself subscribed to get on that. Works out as well. Marines hold this watchtower as we see a little bit more bio stimming over to get rid of this pylon, to get rid of this gateway. Knocking those down. Stalker's still moving around, and we are going to be seeing the scan drops. Just ByuN's still just checking, is this really still only your Stalkers? You're still on your map just with these? Making sure there's not another kind of part of the army behind it or anything. Knowing that shouldn't be too concerned. That number of Stalkers is really not scary compared to how much bio is currently patrolling around the map. Tanks moving over, and we will see them getting sieged up as the command center are going to be dropping down in the next moment or two. Getting Stalkers all the way back to the bottom left hand side with a couple of Colossus here. These Zealots all gathered up as well. And War Prism still set to move forwards if it would like to. A little bit more bio gathers up together, and a couple of Liberators now on the way out from ByuN. There's that +1 armor still on its way up, keeping the upgrades dead even here. 3 bases from both players. Still kind of like ByuN's position, but if he wants to make a fight happen, it's probably going to have to be with Vikings or Liberators in higher numbers. If feel like right now this Bioforce is not going to stand a chance against those Colossus, no matter what he's done in the earlier stages of the game. Still ahead by 8 SCVs though, so I mean, ByuN definitely doesn't need to be the aggressor at the moment. Here we go, he's going to he is going to interference medics. Ooh, with a Colossus inside of the Warp Prism, it actually means that there's essentially no Colossus in this fight for the moment, but ByuN doesn't feel he can keep pushing forwards, instead he just stims back there. That's actually kind of nice. If the Warp Prism is interference matrix, it can't drop units out or pick units up. So the Colossus, as it was picked up there, became on micropole and wasn't able to be dropped down. A bit of a lag spike coming in, hopefully nothing affecting the players too much. Sometimes in these competitions in the Kung Fu Combat, Chinese observers do have a little bit of lag just with VPNs going a bit funky and stuff like that, so that is very possibly the issue here. The Reyes sieged up out the front with these Zealot Stalkers and Colossus. They will take down the rocks on the bottom side and easier to get up to the high ground now. From around, they're going to get ready to push up in towards this army of ByuN. PartinG getting aggressive then. I mean, PartinG is, again, definitely the player who needs to do something right. He has not got as many workers as ByuN does. ByuN has a great economy. It's going to be tough pushing in towards Liberators. Tanks unsieging for some reason. Interference Matrix goes down on a single Colossus to take it out of the equation, but I kind of feel like it's just not going to be enough here. Some bio units on the right side will start to fight those Stalkers. The Prism gets a warp in of Zealots off as well, and PartinG just has way too much. Like, ByuN just has no answer to Colossus here. I'm not sure what his plan was. GG is forward. PartinG goes through to the grand finals against Zest. And Zest